Hi everybody, this is Truth with Spit the Truth. Thank you for tuning in one more time. We have another wonderful episode for you today. We're going to be talking about politics. Learning about politics from the street level, because everybody don't know about politics. The streets don't know about politics a lot of times. And this is an election year, so I think that we need to be very informed on what's going on here. Broadcasting live from Charlotte, North Carolina, and we just want to learn and help to teach what we know about local politics here, city government, city council, etc. So I have some wonderful guests with me that have agreed to come on and share their knowledge. If we can start over here with you, Ms. Chantel, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hi, I'm Chantel Evans, owner of Unique Blessings, Hair and Nail Spot LLC in Charlotte, North Carolina, activist, advocate, youth mentor, all around whatever I can do, definitely politics.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay. And who are you, sir?
My name is Rodney McGill. My friends call me I War. I'm a resident here in Charlotte, and I'm happy to be here with this team of people to discuss politics.
Thank you, Rodney. And Miss Queen, will you introduce yourself to everybody?
My name is Asia Williams. I am Miss Black Wilmington USA 2019. And I am here promoting self-love, awareness, as well as mindfulness and emotional intelligence.
Awesome.
Okay.
And lastly, but not least,
Momani Assad, resident of Charlotte, originally from New York. Just getting into local politics here in Charlotte, and happy to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for introducing who you are to the audience and to the viewers. And we're just going to dive right in. So this episode and the series actually stemmed from me not having a working knowledge of truly how politics works, and not even on a big national level, even just on a local level. So what I began to do was just ask questions. I found out, things like my city council, who those people are. I'm now going to city council meetings, etc. But I think that we all, and I'm talking about us, but maybe we all as a whole, need to know how politics work because of so many different reasons. People say, oh, I'm not voting because my vote don't matter. Then some people say, well, your vote does count. But then we look to things, we have problems, and we look, I think, on a larger scale instead of looking right here in our local area. And what I've always heard anyway is that your local voting and your local government is just as important, if not more important, than even a presidential election, because what happens in your local area is what affects you the most. So right. I don't pretend to know, this is my show, but I don't pretend to know, everything about the topic because I'm learning myself. So I'm going to pose the question, if someone's like me and they want to begin even to learn about politics, where would you guys say that they would need to even begin? And what is it that they should begin to even want to know? Like, a lot of times you don't even know what you don't know. You know what I mean? So where should somebody start in wanting to learn about politics? And whoever just kind of want to take a dive at that.
I would say if they want to start to learn the basic in its essence, start with CNN politics, CNN News, MSNBC, stations like that. That's just to bring yourself up to speed, because a lot of us really don't pay attention to the news. You have other sources out there, other resources. You can talk to your local, find out who your local elected officials are. Make an appointment with them. Go sit down and talk to them.
Make an appointment with them. So you can find out who your local elected. And when you say find out who your local elected officials are, what do you mean by that? Are you talking about the mayor? Are you who are you talking about?
It could be the mayor. It could be the local commissioner, one of the commissioners. Mark Jarrell in District 4, I believe he's a county commissioner. He's got an ear that's open, that's always willing to listen. Start there, and then you can
see. I didn't even know that. So you just said you can make an appointment with them. So I could literally make an appointment.
And go right down to where you went to city council. Them offices, there's offices in there where you can go in there and meet with them. And it's a conference rooms. I've been up there several times.
They're your representative. They're there for you for them to listen to you. Voice your concerns.
So I have a question for you. So how would you make the appointment? Like, how would you go about making that appointment?
You
can call.
You can call, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be an expert on this. because I've never had a reason to actually. Well, I've had many reasons, but I've never actually done it myself. But there's vote.org that will put you in touch with your local team from different area codes, different zip codes, or what have you.
From president all the way down to tell you all your representatives
Yes.
from your address.
Yeah, I know I had got on the government website and I actually had found that information, and I was wondering too.
You saw Donald Trump picture, you like, whoa.
So what experience then have you guys had with local politics? Because the extent of my experience is going to a couple of city council meetings in the past, and here recently, just kind of one, and then just asking questions, going on the website, the local city council website for Charlotte, and just kind of looking and seeing who sits in the seats and kind of what they do a little, you know what I mean? But like really just kind of scratching the surface type stuff. But what stemmed my interest is because of all the different happenings that are going on in Charlotte, specifically people getting, murdered.
Triple the murder rate from last year.
Right, that things like that. It seems like what will happen is something tragic will happen. We'll have a vigil or a town hall or something to that extent, or march
until the next incident.
Until the next incident, and then it's like when we have these vigils, protests, etc. The people, or at least in my mind, the people who can make change aren't there.
Right.
Which is what prompted me to say, okay, well, if these are the people can invoke change, shouldn't we be dealing with these people and talking to these people? So that's what made me even want to begin to, learn. So what type of experiences have you guys had as it pertains to local government?
Well, I know personally, being a former resident of New Hanover County, that's Wilmington, North Carolina, I did, as you did, I was really passionate about education, and as a former student and having a child that transitioned from a public school to a public charter school, it was very important for me to sit in on school board meetings, to see what the superintendent was doing, to see exactly how school districts have changed, and things of that nature, how it's going to affect our children. So that's what I've personally done, is to definitely just dive into what the school board is doing and sit in on their meetings, or if I miss the meetings, make sure to go to the local government website to see if I can find the minutes and read exactly what has happened, what decisions have been made, and things like that.
Okay, so you studious out here.
You have to be.
Okay. I mean, I understand that. I understand that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. So I know, Chantel, you've had some situation with the school and things like that too. What extent, have you experienced as it pertains to local government?
I'm learning a lot about the local government. I'm learning about what they can do and what they can't do. And I'm finding out that, to be quite honest, they can't do anything without us. That's what I'm learning. I'm learning about who really controls what. I'm learning about verbiage. I'm learning about, I have been in the sectors of education, housing, law enforcement, policy and procedure with hospitals. How does that work? Who to contact when you can't get answers even after you file complaints and follow the chain of command. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm learning that, in a sense, or really our state officials, they are pretty much our public servants. And I'm learning that how to utilize that service that they are supposed to provide. And if they are not providing that service, who to go to. And when my back is against the wall, I usually call Rocky.
Okay. And Rodney, I'm going to bring you into this right now, because I know I really wanted you to come on the show, because I know you have a really extensive knowledge of government and how it works. You answered a lot of my questions, when I would call up and just ask you certain things. So to kind of go off of what Chantel said also, I don't think that we, at least for me, I don't think that I really understood just how much they actually work for us.
I don't think
Yes.
many do, because the concept of maybe like a false sense of superiority or
Yes.
or a false sense of authority has has caused so many of us that are looking in to think that they have the power that they don't, because they kind of perpetuate that they have this power,
That's true.
but they don't.
Right.
Yes, they are public servants, but to me, they're more like a figurehead. They're more like a mask in front of there's some other face behind it. It's just what we see.
And I use keywords like supposed to be.
Definitely.
So-called.
So-called, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the situation with them. We don't hold them accountable. They may come into our communities and politic with us and sit down with us and break bread with us just to get that vote. And we're going to cast that vote for them. And a lot of times, a lot of cases, is because they look like us, you know? But once they get into office, we forget about it. They forget about us. We forget about them. And when things are not going right in our communities, we're not picking up that phone and calling them and holding them accountable. They're 2 to 4 years max. You can vote them right back out. So while they're there, give or take, while they're there, hold them accountable.
I don't think it's that they forget about us. I think once people go into politics, they really feel that they're able to make an impact that they really can't make.
When they first go in,
Definitely.
So let's
that's
talk
what
about
they feel. And that's like with the police, and I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
A police officer, for the most part, will step into that job with the idea that he's going to bring about some serious change to the force. But the entire organization, in my opinion, is so corrupt from the top down that he or she is either going to burn out or they're going to get swallowed up and become just like what they came in.
Definitely. You have to make a decision. You're going to have to cross the Rubicon
So
sometimes.
let's go back though to someone wanting to make an impact. What were you saying, Kim? You were saying that they want to make the impact, but an impact that they really can't make.
Exactly.
And why is that? Why can't they make that impact?
It's the false perceptions. It's one reason a lot of people don't know how government works is because government doesn't tell us how it really works.
Never.
How they work behind the scenes is not how they work in the public eye. So you may think that your mayor can do something that your mayor cannot. You may think that your governor is responsible for something, but your governor really isn't. Because we have lots of corporations that have a lot of money into politics, and everyone has a boss. Everyone has to answer to someone. So that's how I kind of feel that happens. And like I was saying a few seconds ago, everyone is going to have to make a decision at one point. With systems that are very corrupt, you can't be on both sides. You can't straddle the fence. You're going to have to make a decision. You're either going to, like you said, either get burned out, quit, someone take you out, or you assimilate into the corruption.
And most of what's happening is they're assimilating. So how do you fight that? I don't know. You know, that's one of the biggest questions that I've had all along.
We're going to have some integrity at some point in time. We're going to have to say, you know what? If I enjoy these particular freedoms and my brother down the street can't enjoy the particular freedoms, why do you want to do it too?
Before we go there, we're going to have to take a break. I want to get back into this when we come back after the break, but we're going to take a break and we will be right back. promise we're going to get into that piece about wanting to make an impact, but not really being able to make an impact. Because I felt that when you said that. Because I want to make an impact when I do things. You know what I mean? So kind of go into that a little bit deeper, please, Queen, when you said about wanting to make an impact, but not all the time being able to make one.
Well, this may not be favorable, and this is extremely biased, but this is my opinion. In my opinion, I really don't think there's much that we can do as civilians to really, I'm not going to say to make an impact physically, because definitely our voting power, our numbers, we can put persons in office, but I don't know if there is really a way for us to make a bigger impact without getting not just higher up state officials to kind of communicate with us a little bit better.
What do you think about that, Ryan?
I
About
think
wanting to make an impact, but not being able to fully make an impact.
You know, to address, you know, the first point she said, when she spoke about some of them come in with, you know, gung-ho, like Bomani was saying, they come in gung-ho, you know, I'm going to come in. You know, we had Braxton Winston on city council, you know, during the riots in 2016. He was saggy pants, dreads, no shirt, and fists in there. He go into city council, he got on a little short, tight suit, and
Hands on his lap.
and now he's speaking like this instead of like that. So they go in and they get caught up in the what they call institutional inertia. Like if you go to any city or any place, how the people are there, the longer you stay there, the more you're gonna be like them.
Assimilation.
Now, to your other point, when you talk about being able to vote them in, yeah, that's what we can do. But once they get in, the only reason that there is no way right now to hold them accountable, and it's about accountability, is, well, it's a couple of reasons. One of the reasons you can't hold them accountable is because once they're in, they good for 2 years or 4 years. They don't need your vote no more. They can look to replace you with 10 voters over here that they're going to do this and that for. So they're not really concerned about what they said to get in. So that way right there is not a way to hold them accountable. Another thing, a way that you can hold them accountable, and agreeing with you, is that once they get in there, you have no power to them now. Your power was before they got in there.
So they got what they wanted from you.
Exactly.
Well,
But however
thank
now,
you, ma'am.
however, an organization here, several organizations actually, and working with Black-owned CLT, you know, our media, we have devised a way to hold them accountable that we haven't seen anybody do.
What's that?
Well, we started off back in 2016, and we made a video and told them that we knew exactly what they could do. And we told them on the video, and we was at City Council after the riot, September 26, 2016, we told them at that time that we know what you can't do. We know what you can do. We're going to hold you accountable to it, and we're going to start the process now. So for the past 3 years, we've been writing these city council people, mayors, and all these people in government, all different types of letters. Now you got to understand, if I write you a letter and you're in government and time passes by and either you lied in a letter or you didn't take heed to a letter, it's not microwave though. We took our time and did this. So now what we did about a month ago, we did what we told them we was going to do. We sent them, every last one of them, notices that we'll be making report cards for them during this election year before the election.
So you did this for
That's
the
great.
city council, and you told the city council that you're going to be sending them letters. And
I posted it on Facebook today, the whole entire letter in another post. I posted up the letters I write them even because it's public record. You say something crazy to the government, lying on this and that, they can lock you up for harassment, domestic threat. You can do all type of things. So everything we do, we put in facts. We got the links. I write a sentence, I'm putting the link where I got it from. Their own words, from the news, from the newspaper, from public conversation, private conversations. These report cards, the reason people do not give the government report cards from the community level is because the people in the community is always looking to the government to help them. The mentality of the people in the community, most of them either to leave it alone, just stay away like that, or to some type of way gain some type of access are resources from the government. So you even got the endorsing agencies. You got the Black Political Caucus. Did a brilliant thing. I mean, they said we're going to start an organization and we're going to endorse. Our thing is, what we're all doing different is, we don't want your endorsement. We don't want a conversation with you. We know what your job is. I have a bachelor's degree in government. That's what I study. I know exactly what their job is, what they can and can't do. So what we do is we hold them accountable, and we take their own words that they said they would do to many people, and we grade them on it. And now that it's 2 years later, you just put 6 new city councilmen in 2017 after that ride. This year you might get the whole 12 gone. The 11 and the mayor might get out of there, because over these past 2 years we documented closely just the pure ineffectiveness. I'll put it that way.
Wow.
Period. I mean, it's almost like, put it this way. One last thing, and then we'll go around.
No, we're good. Go
This is the way that you address the government. You address them with the Constitution. If there's anything you need to know first with the government, it's the power and the law that they have to abide, no matter what government they're in. Listen now, listen to me. I'm telling you how.
We ain't gonna say something.
I'm telling you
So
how.
bad.
I'm telling you what hasn't been done and what we're doing now and why we're doing it. The Constitution is what they have to go by. If anybody in the United States goes against the Constitution, you can take them to court, even the president. With that being said, you don't hear me. He's in office. That's a political thing. They're not going to do anything to him while he's in office unless you got a smoking gun showing him doing something. After he gets out, now watch what happens in his private life. Now, but in the meantime, these people right here in the city, when we sent them the report cards and the way that we hold them accountable, one of the ways and one of the techniques that we use is taking their very words. Now, I was about to tell you that the city council here, they know me and I know them. They know a lot of us in the community. And so we're having what Truth said, something called Streets versus Politics, where we're going to have government officials and myself and some other of my colleagues. Truth is the media, she'll be covering it, and other more mainstream media. Yet we want our media to give our perspective. And so when we go in there and have this meeting with these politicians, that's recorded with people out here and with the people from the street like myself, we get to hold them accountable and teach the people at the same time. I want all y'all to vote. I want all y'all to at some point have somebody else vote, because one thing they don't account for, they don't account for new voters. 65% of the registered voters in Chicago to vote for the black ladies, whatever, they didn't even show up. 65, that's almost 7 out of every 10 people who took the time to register to vote that didn't go vote. I told Bomani on that right there, this is my last thing, I'm going to let y'all go. I told Bomani, I can't blame them. I vote, but I can understand why you wouldn't want to go vote for somebody that ain't did nothing. The last one you voted for won't do nothing. So what we got to do, is we got to educate ourselves and the people in getting somebody amongst us. Myself, I don't want anything to do with it. Yet there's a lot of people in Charlotte right now that's thinking about running for government, and I'll support them. Before, like I supported Braxton with the 5th. I'm like, yo, it's an opportunity. But then I didn't think he would.
You support him because he was the best candidate?
I
support him because he looked like you.
I didn't support him for looks. I supported him for attitude.
First.
I supported him for his attitude, because I was in the Rodney King ride, and I got locked up in Atlanta, Georgia. Put the plastic on me, National Guard, FEMA, everybody out there. So when I saw another black man standing in front of all these police, they're mad at me and me.
Exactly.
I'm like, you know, you got my attitude.
Exactly.
If you don't know anything about government, I'm going to come help you and holler at you.
Right.
So you will elect someone that doesn't know anything
Before-
about government.
I would.
Everybody who's in government
That's what
has a degree in government.
Everybody elected, voted for back when Obama was running. We voted for Obama because he looked like us. Not saying that he didn't know what he was doing.
Well, that's not why I voted for Obama. I didn't vote for Obama because he looked like me.
95% of us did. You know
See,
what
I think that's a problem that we have as well.
And it is. And
A digression, though.
I
We don't look at the,
It is a
we
digression.
don't look at the facts.
Because we ain't talking about where we went. We talking about where
Right.
we going. And where
Right.
we going here is, we going to hold these ones in this
Right.
city right here accountable.
And then we making ourselves more knowledgeable, because I personally won't fall into that trap again. I don't think a lot of people will fall into that trap again of just because they look like us. So
You trapped me with Braxton.
But you know what we
Uh-oh.
haven't talked about though?
did he say, hold on? They trapped you with Braxton. How they trapped you with Braxton?
Because I went by just his really, his attitude. You know what I mean? But then again, I
So has
learned.
he changed up that much? I
gosh.
haven't seen really.
So see, I know who Braxton is,
Hey.
but again, I'm just learning. So
It's
I
only
don't know
it's only
what's
one
going
thing that
Yes.
tells me about a
He's changed up
politician.
that
When you
much.
say he's changed up,
This is what I
yes.
mean. This is what I
don't
mean.
know
He's
who
no
this
longer
particular
that
person
warrior
is.
that
That's
stepped
what I
in
mean.
there.
No.
No.
He's none of this
He
right now.
deleted me and everything from Facebook when I had my whole
You can't even
legal
talk to
issue.
him. I ran to him out in
He
person.
don't know you anymore.
I
Really?
ran to him out in person after I went
Oh.
to city council and told him what I just told y'all. I'm not telling the camera nothing that I didn't tell him to his face at city council.
I have you.
But it's one thing. It's one thing I look for from all of them. It's only one thing I care about. I don't care about nothing they say. It's only one thing I look for, and I pull it up, and I pull up that budget they write. If they don't have the underprivileged communities, black communities, they don't have a black agenda in there, and when they do that budget with that, it's always over $2 billion for the last 3, 4, 5 years. We're not in it.
And see, I'm just learning that. I didn't know. I didn't know that the city council voted on a budget.
And the county commissioners.
Yeah.
And the county commissioners. But not only do they vote on the budget, they create the budget.
That's right.
And so that's why people try to get close to those people
Yes.
in
Yep.
an effort
Yes.
to be in their
To be
budget.
Get
part
a
of the
piece of the
budget.
pie.
Right. So it's almost like you a kiss
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why others don't create report cards, and we did. Because we don't care if you
I saw
like
someone
us.
else mention that report card on Facebook earlier, and I don't remember who it was.
Probably me.
But it may have
I
been.
made a post about it. I said, why do most people,
Yeah,
everybody
so-
have
It
report
was
cards, but the
yours.
government
It
doesn't?
was you. It was
But
you.
think about
yes.
it. Really, what do report cards do?
I'll tell you what it's
These
doing
days,
here.
What do report
I'll
cards
tell you
do?
what it does here.
Though.
It gives you a
can't.
sense of at least
E-
what's
Look,
going
even
on.
in the school system now.
But you asked the question. This
What
ain't
do
school,
report
Queen.
cards really
Queen,
do?
this ain't school though. Look what they do to politicians. What does a politician have to do to stay in office? You have to win elections, right? So when you create a report card, put their record on it, show the things they said, and hand it to somebody
Versus
that
what they
never even
did.
voted, or the voters. That's taking. Look here, you don't want to get no F on your report card from the community.
I think you're giving people a little too much credit.
In
And
what way?
This is why I say that. A person as an individual is very intelligent and can make a sound decision because they have the facts to make
That's
a
a
decision.
lot of credit you give them.
But people as a collective
Okay.
usually don't make good sound decisions.
Okay.
I think you're speaking in reference to an individual being able to look at a report card of a politician and say, well, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, this makes sense. Well, I'm not going to vote for them. But a collective, I really believe a collective would look at all the information because look how society is as we know it today.
Okay.
We have so many facts that we see are facts, but we will still turn around and see what we want to see, believe what we want to
Let me
believe.
take you to the reality. I understand what you're
Before
saying.
we go there,
Go ahead.
let me take y'all to break.
Okay.
Gotta pay some bills and we will be right back after this.
In an effort to stop gun violence, the Charlotte area peacekeepers have designed an hour of power. Join them every Saturday at 1 p.m. on the corner of Betty's Ford Road and LaSalle as they stand to make their communities a decent and safe place to live. For more information on how you can be involved or how to start a peacekeepers in your area, contact Brother Norman Muhammad at 980-339-0837.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for sticking it out with us because it's getting a little tight up in here. When we left off, we were finding out how we could hold our elected officials accountable. And Roddy, you were kind of explaining that to us. So you want to kind of finish that
Yeah,
thought?
I just wanted to say this and throw it out there. A lot of times people have a hard time in government holding them accountable. We got the report cards, yeah. Yet I didn't say any substance to be in the report cards. Like for instance, they have to go by the Constitution, and when you have to go by the Constitution, you have the 14th Amendment, which is equal protection. With equal protection, those people who sit on there, they can't do anything that discriminates against any of us to the benefit of somebody else. It's hard to prove that unless it's a pattern. Here in Charlotte, North Carolina, you have an area called West Boulevard, Beatties Ford Road. They, for the past 30, 40 years, they've been tearing those communities down, gentrifying and not developing them. Those are not accidents. You can prove that pattern with each politician that came in with the same budgets. They put money everywhere. They just put thousands of rocking chairs out here to celebrate the 25th anniversary with homeless people walking up and down the street all night in the winter. So how you hold them accountable is not just say it to your friend on a Facebook post. You put it down in letters, you create report cards, and you show them this is why you got this grade and that grade. Now, it ain't so much now about what even the people think about it. It's what they think about it.
So
Excellent.
how can we do this right here? What I feel sometimes, and I see a lot, the attitude of defeatism. A lot of people in our community feel defeated. A lot of people don't speak out because we feel that if we say anything, it's not going to do anything. So how can we change that attitude? What can we do to spark that cultural change to get people to realize, well, you do have an impact. You can do something. Or is it just a false perception that we have power and we don't?
I'm going to see what they say because I got an answer to that.
I don't know. I would think that we would need to see some result from something that we so-called have power in. So, for example, if I want to feel like my vote counts for real, and if I know that everybody is voting for this particular person and they still lose, then yes, I'm gonna feel defeated. But if that situation was different, and if I knew that the majority of everybody had voted for the person and they won, and then I could say, okay, well, my vote does count. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how clear that is.
No, it definitely makes sense to me. And it's funny that you speak about the voting count because a lot of people talk about that. A lot of people feel that your votes really don't count. I do know a lot of people say things like politicians are not elected, they're selected. And someone told me about how they say that this is a democracy, but even in our Pledge of Allegiance, it says this is a republic. Right. And if it is a democracy, each vote counts in a democracy. Each vote doesn't count in our country, city, state, whatever, because we have electoral colleges, we have all these things. So if we have all these things in place, and does each vote really count? Does voting really do what we think it does?
That's more so on the presidential level.
Yes.
What we need to concern ourselves with now is the local level.
I agree.
That's
Thank you
where,
for
that's
that.
where
I
it
think
starts.
it's not the
That's where
same.
it
Is it
starts.
not the same?
No, the electoral
No.
college is only on the presidential
No.
level.
I don't
Not
mean the
with that.
electoral college. I mean, does our vote truly count even with the local elections?
Yes, it does. Because that's when the power and numbers come out. That's when they come into
We
play.
can put you in office. We can put him
Yes.
in office right
Yes.
here. We can say right now, you agree, this is what we want to do. We want to just run you because we know we can get people to vote for you, and we control that. This got 30-something% black people in Charlotte with
Yeah.
another 20-something% Latino. You
Hold
get
on.
somebody.
That's
That's why so many black politicians in Charlotte.
So
Yes.
with you saying that, what I just said, how politicians aren't elected, they're selected.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
we
a
do
fact.
select.
They're selected
Yes.
by the elected process. See, the election
Real
is a
election
process.
process.
The selection is a personal thing. So people look to get the personal favor of
Relationship.
everybody to put them in that election process. So they
that's the
are.
same way Braxton got in
Most
because he
certainly.
was very popular. He
I put his
met
sign
with
in
the
my
people.
yard. Never met him. I'm telling other people about him. Other people who they
And
know
he
me.
was
and
actually coming out too.
He
and
started
what
off
I
like-
like
I
And,
love
and
that
another
too.
thing too now, who else do we know? Because I don't want Braxton to see this and feel like it's an
Man,
attack.
we
it's not
don't
an
care.
attack on him.
I
It's not an attack on
I don't
him,
say
but
nothing to nobody.
I
I don't
just-
say in their face.
I just like to
Me
be
either,
honest
but I'm
and
just
So,
saying.
the
I'm
reason
already
Are
I,
there
saying.
any other representatives?
So you can get Braxton
You
a
know,
hug. You-
It's not even that. It's not even that. I'm just asking.
I'm saying,
know?
you cut the tape, you can do it how you want to do. Put me on here and call it like it is. That's all I'm saying.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna tell
let
the
me.
truth.
I'll just say this. I mean,
You a mess.
I met Mark Gerald, but I'm unapologetic.
No, and I'm not saying apologize.
Braxton
I'm not saying apologize.
is the
I'm
name that's
asking.
gonna come up, at least out of my mouth, because that's the person who, before he sat down and he was standing up, he was doing just this.
Yeah.
He would come, he would see us, if we had issues.
He's out now some though. I mean,
He
I
is,
saw
because
him
it's
a couple
almost
days
time
for
to
election. You said he was out
Yeah.
too.
So with that
Okay.
being said, I mean,
If I had pearls, I'd have clutched them.
don't cast.
Well, we have to talk
But
about the
anyway.
mayor. We got to talk about the mayor. You cannot sit here and
she's
tell the truth.
always quiet every
No,
time I
no,
see her.
no,
Like
no.
she's just like smiley and
Well,
quiet.
let's talk about what she said though.
Oh,
I haven't paid that much attention to violence.
Please
I
educate
haven't.
me.
Here's the.
I was
listen,
turned off at
you got to
Slip
speak.
Lake Arkansas.
Really?
But you got to speak facts all the way through. You got to speak facts all the way through. The mayor in 2017, she was on PBS, and this is before she was the mayor. She was the mayor pro tem, which is second to the mayor, and is the mayor when the mayor not there. And they asked her as she sat up there with 3 other mayor candidates. Well, no, with 3 other people running for mayor. Jennifer Roberts, who was a former mayor, was up there. Joel Ford, who was state senator, ran for mayor. Kenny Smith, a guy, he was running for mayor. He was a former city councilman. And they asked them, I mean, why is Charlotte, how can Charlotte have all these resources and be 50th in economic mobility and just homelessness and one crisis after the next? How can that be? Mayor Bilal said, and I put it on my Facebook all the time.
Is this going to be verbatim?
Verbatim. She said,
No, right?
No, you know what?
I know.
You know what? I'm gonna say paraphrase in case the newspaper didn't get it verbatim. So I'm gonna paraphrase and say what the newspaper said, and I posted up on my wall a lot. Mayor Bilal said Charlotte's problems was based off a lack of focus on race and poverty. Listen to that statement that she made as a black woman that was the mayor pro tem being asked about all the problems in Charlotte. When she said that, do you think that helped her get in the office?
But I agree with that. Not from based
We all agree.
You know, so
but once she got into these 2 years, how much focus has she had on it?
Well,
is the question.
I'm new to the area. I just got
Well,
here
let me
in
tell
December
you.
of last year.
Let me tell you.
I'm learning.
Let me help
be
you.
educated.
Let me help
I don't
you.
know.
Help me
I
be
just tell you.
successful, please.
Let me help you know about her focus on race and poverty over the past 2 years. And now, mind you, I go up to city council and tell her to her face too. So I ain't just sitting in here in the hotel room with a couple people on the video saying it. And I write letters concerning it. She's had no increase. It might have decreased the focus on race and poverty.
Yeah.
What has happened? Anybody tell me what has happened more focus on race and poverty in Charlotte, North Carolina? You've had
But do you
now 2 unarmed black men or whatever get killed. You've had the RNC, what no hardly city in the United States would even take. And she's a Democrat. I'm neither one.
But look how much money that made the city.
Listen, look, if you're going to say it's about money, you might as well, that's when the slave masters used to get together and say,
That's true.
that one right there,
That's
you know,
true.
he's kind of rebellious, yeah, but he's making a lot of money, Bob, kill him.
That's true. We did.
So I don't
They
put
speak about
money.
integrity.
I'm not
Definitely.
putting money because guess what? That money's not going to come to those
not coming
areas.
to the areas
Listen,
that's
the
needed.
areas where the people that I represent, that I speak with, that I build with, that I deal with on an every single day basis, there has not been anything focused on race and poverty increase, and it's sad. It's sad because a lot of people thought because we had the first black woman mayor that it was going to be a lot of compassion. She said the words out of her mouth. We're going to focus on race and poverty. And it just not has happened.
But is it because she doesn't have the power to do that?
No, let me tell you. Mayor
That's all I
Bilaus has a bachelor's degree just like I do in government, political science, and she has a master's degree in public administration. So she's been in government for decades. She knows exactly what she can do and can't do. If it was just somebody out here just winging it, yeah, I'm about to, and not a liquor store on every corner, 2 liquor stores on every corner. She knows exactly what she can do. So she can't claim ignorance.
But she answers to someone as well. Yes, she answers to the people.
Who does she answer to?
Bilal's a sweet lady.
Governor?
And she's gonna go along with the system. She's not a rebel. She's not a rebel. She's not a revolutionary. She's not anybody who's gonna go against the grain. Last time I seen Bilal's, me, Lisa Lee, Camille went to the Chamber of
Thank you for
Commerce.
telling me that because I did not know.
And Johnson
That's
C.
not how that
Smith,
works.
and sat down, you know, to eat, to listen to the business people. You know, we all sit at the table with all these big corporate people at the Chamber of Commerce over at Johnson C. Smith. I saw the mayor. She came. I gave her a hug. You know, it's all love. She's doing her job. She's decided to do it the way she's doing it. She's not ignorant in no way. She's very smart, super intelligent.
Guilty though of not being able to make an impact, like we were talking about earlier?
Of course she
or
is.
just not doing it as a safety net.
If you can fight to get the RNC in Charlotte, North Carolina, when no other city in the whole United States wanted to take them, if you can have that much power to get the RNC in Charlotte, why can't you get? Listen, we voted in the vote for the past 3 years to put 50, 100. That's it. Every time I voted for the past 3 years, it's been a referendum. On that referendum, there's been tens of millions of dollars that we voted for housing, community initiative.
Hold on, but that happened. Now, I can definitely tell you that. I'm very passionate about affordable housing. I work in the affordable housing sector. That's how so many people got a lot of the things that they needed. Let's speak in reference to...
here in Charlotte?
Yes, here in Charlotte. Let's speak in reference to Housing Choice Voucher, Section 8.
Okay.
We all know that Section 8, last time it was open in Charlotte, was for 3 days in 2014.
Okay.
Within probably about the last year, 2 years, a lot of people have been coming off the waiting list. A lot of other subsidized housing programs are flourishing. Workforce, yes. And the reason, because...
You might get the voucher, but you can't find a house.
Yes, but that's a whole nother reason.
So,
it's still the same problem, though.
It's a setup. You get
That's like, here's the can of food, but we ain't giving you no can opener. You still ain't
you can't eat.
No.
Because I looked into that Section 8, and I was on Lake Arbor as well, and I went door knocking as well. And I already knew that they were going to give them vouchers. Oh, yeah, most certainly. But this is the thing. No one is taking vouchers in Charlotte.
That's not true. That's definitely not true.
Do you know how many people? Let me explain one thing to you. Hold on, one second.
I'm not gonna say
hold
no
on,
one. Maybe that was a bit
you're
broad.
right. I'm
gonna say.
Let me give you another side of this. Let me just give you another side of this. Let me tell you the type of life I live on an everyday basis. Listen though, let me tell you.
I get phone calls on.
Order in the court.
Okay,
right,
but let me before we go any more to the politics, let me explain what I personally deal with on an everyday basis. I'm part of an organization. Right now, there's 41 other organizations inside the organization. You probably never heard of us. We're not on television. You're not going to see us in the newspaper. You're not going to see us hugged up with politicians cheesing, especially me. It's called Community Unity Center 100. Out of those organizations, we have people that own transitional houses. Sandra Chisholm, shout out. We have organizations, 501c3s. I have a 501c3 myself called the Save Our Children Movement. Save Our Children Movement has been incorporated since 2014. So I'm dealing with a whole lot of people who have a whole lot of issues when you're dealing with children. We have another organization called Vision Beyond the Eyes, Avis Chesney, where they dealing with placing people, finding housing for them, food vouchers. And I just named a couple of the people. Out of all these organizations, we always getting information, statistics, sharing things, and it's terrible out here. We cannot, it's not, listen, it is.
The reason I speak in reference to this program, I'm in the program.
Okay. That's a good one. That's good.
I
and
know.
It's a lot of people in it, but it's a whole lot that ain't. That's what I want you to think about.
I know how it works. And there is a lot of problems with affordable housing, different types of subsidies.
Affordable and low income and Section 8, they have rules.
Yes,
if you don't have a job, you don't qualify what's considered to be affordable out here in Charlotte. If you are on a 771, I think Social Security is now, you will not be able to really find anything that's taking that, because Charlotte do not go on the amount of bedrooms, they go on the amount of the voucher. So you can, if your income don't fit this market out here, if you have a list, CUC 100 definitely needs it. I
Yes.
do work there,
People
and
come
so
to me
I'm not
all
going
the
to
time.
debate that back and forth. But because I have clients all the time, I'm a stylist in the community, so I have all kinds of people that come to me.
I can
And a
definitely
lot of people say, hey, I have this voucher, I can't find anything with this price. Who's finding a place to live for $500? And the thing is, up north, they go by they give you a voucher and they say, we're going to give you this many bedrooms, and they look at the area and see what the median amount is, and they don't care what you make. They still pay for that area. You can't give someone a voucher.
So
and
they're not doing the same here
No,
in
they
Charlotte?
do not. No,
No,
they do
this is
not.
here.
question.
It's based on your family size
And
and
your
your
money.
income.
So I've got a question.
And you
income.
have about 60 to 90 days to
I got a
find
question.
places.
Now, that
As
is
it
true. Now,
pertains-
that's horrible.
As it pertains to local government, though, is this an issue that we can take to the city council?
It is
Yes.
something that
And
definitely
that we
can be
have
done because
taken
it
and
is
people
a
have.
federal
Needs to.
funded program.
It
So it
definitely
definitely
needs
needs
to.
to be looked at.
It
And it definitely
definitely
needs
needs
to
to.
be, I would say, add on, because if we go and try to change the wheel, that's never going to happen. So amended, I think I may be using the wrong word, but we need to definitely go look at it, because again, I looked
Most
at up
definitely.
north and I looked at the southern states. And one of the big things is, yes, like I said, we're giving these vouchers, we're giving these programs, we have them, they're opening lists up, and we're taking all these names and numbers so that we can qualify for the budgets that's going to be there. But
Because that's where I'm going with
most certainly, but
So
when
I'm
they
going-
get there, you kind of pick apart who can live in Charlotte and who can't. So now Section 8 is saying, as of January 2019, I believe it was, if you do not have employment and you have a voucher, you are not even welcome in Charlotte.
Looking for African dashikis? Well, look no further than 7th Phase. 7th Phase has the largest selection of African dashikis and other African attire. In addition, get all your jewelry, shea butter, body oils, African books, and personal hygiene items as well. Contact them today at 704-965-4464. Visit them on Facebook at 7th Phase or go to their website, 7thphase.com. Looking to build your brand and get in front of a mass audience? Well, advertise your business with us here on Spit the Truth. Contact us at 704-965-4464. Let's grow your audience.
And in here with us, and we are getting ready to wrap up the show. But before we do, Rodney, tell us maybe some things that we need to know, because this is a election year, and obviously we're not going to get to everything tonight, so we will definitely have a part 2. I hope y'all will come back for part 2. But what should we know, considering this is an election year, or what should we look for? Just some of the things, some small minor things that people should inform themselves of.
I just give a couple points. It's going to be 12 seats open, 11 city council members, and then the mayor, the different districts, the at-large. You got 4 at-large candidates that's going to be running for all of Mecklenburg County. That means we all have an opportunity to vote on them, whatever district you're in. Find out what district you're in. Go to vote.org, put your address in. It'll give you everybody who's all the way from the local level all the way up to Yao president.
Hold on, what?
Their president.
Okay, anyway.
And also remember this year that the city council is running, that you're going to see them out here looking to take pictures with every baby, with everybody, and they're going to be at every event. Please don't give them free opportunity to just come and get a photo op with you and use a picture at you to have people thinking that they your friend and they like you and they doing things for your community. When you talk to these people in the government, when they come to you, pull out your Facebook Live and just ask them a few questions. They don't want to do that.
Yes.
That means they don't want to stand on their word. Just hold them accountable. Make sure that the people that you are talking to or want to talk to you is being straight up. Remember, anybody say anything behind closed doors. If they won't say it on the camera, say it on Facebook Live, say it out loud, that means they giving themselves some room to wiggle out, because there's nobody hear them tell you that.
Exactly. I never said that.
So what they need to do first, or what you would suggest first, is go to vote.org and find out who your
Put your
representative-
address in there, and they give you all that.
and find out who your representative even is, who that person is.
All of them, they give you all of them.
Okay. All right. So any last words or comments from anybody?
I just would like to say that I think everyone should reach out to someone that may not be that into politics, hey, get them to the polls with you.
Yes.
You know, get them,
That's big.
bring them, have 2 people bring 2 people, and so on
Yes.
and so forth. Just get them out there.
I pay them to go vote, not
Exactly.
pay them to who to vote for. That sounds like it's illegal.
Exactly. That's a little
But I
bit
sit them
illegal.
on a lift, something, and it is
Exactly.
riots people can take. It is people that's doing riots and things.
Yeah.
But bring somebody. I mean, register. I mean, just do whatever.
I'd like to say,
Congratulations on your title. First.
thank you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
It's okay to not be informed, but it's not okay to not want to be informed. If you don't do anything else, make sure you educate yourself on exactly how politics affects you in your community at a lower level. Even if you don't go out and vote, educate yourself so you know why you're doing what you're doing and how it affects you and other people around you.
And I would say pretty much that even if they don't count your vote, we hear your voice. So definitely get out to vote. Not to be a number, but to be heard.
That's right.
Well, everybody, I hope you have enjoyed this particular episode of Spit the Truth. Like they have told you, get out there, go to vote.org, put in your address, find out who your representative is. Begin to go to city council meetings here in Charlotte. They meet every Monday at 6 p.m. at the Government Center. And those are just 2 things that you can do in an initial effort. And just keep yourself informed. Keep yourself informed. And we'll be bringing you more episodes like this so that you can know some of the things to do, especially with this being an election year. Thank y'all for watching.
Peace.